In this lesson, we discuss technical photography for the examination of the iron Gall ink. Using UVF photography, this one, we can make faded ink more readable. Using UVF photography, we can make even prints, stamps made with iron Gall ink more readable, the visible and the UVF over here. We can use all the set of technical photos to distinguish inks. So in this case, we have a nice example of this letter, where on the top we have an iron Gall ink, on the bottom we have a carbon-based ink. We barely can distinguish them with naked eye. When we do the ultraviolet fluorescence photo, we see that the iron Gall ink becomes more contrasted, while for the carbon-based ink it's less visible or almost disappear. When we do the infrared photo, we see that the iron Gall ink disappears, and on the other hand the carbon-based ink become more readable. And then eventually we can do the infrared false color manipulation, and in this case we have that the iron Gall ink becomes red, while the carbon ink remains black and even more readable. We introduce technical photography for the examination of the iron Gall ink. If you are new to technical photography, remember we have a free course, it's online, it's made of recorded videos. In this course I explain what is a technical photography documentation. So generally is this series of images with these acronyms over here, and the idea is that each of these images will provide you with a little bit of different information about the object we are analyzing. So this course is just about the ink, but generally we can use these other methods in particular for identifying, distinguishing, making more visible the pigments. You can make technical photography using this equipment over here. So basically you can use our technical photography kit. So we assemble just the tools that you need to start operating and making all the set of technical photo. So you are going to need the halogen lamps, helio halogen lamps, the Alice lamp, the Fabrizio UV lamp, then you need the Robertina filter set and the camera for technical photography. The technical photography kit, we made it as affordable as possible. So basically this kind of kit starts from 8,000 euro. So this is the basic, it costs 8,000. This is the economy kit, and it's called economy, is the cheaper ones, basically because we are using a used Nikon camera, so it's lower the cost. Then there are other kits that are a little bit more costly when they use a new camera, for example. All the details how to use the technical photography kit are on our online free course. Here are just a few hints how to use it. It's simple, you just use 3 filters. So one will be for the visible, one from the infrared band, and the other for the ultraviolet. You need the camera that is modified full spectrum, so can see the visible, the infrared and the UV. And then these are the spectral curves of our filters set Robertina. If you want to use your own equipment, remember you need an actual modified digital camera. These are some examples of images in the infrared and this one in the UV that have been done with a modified camera for technical photography and a camera that is not modified. So sometimes people ask me, can I use just my camera with longer exposure? If you do very long exposure, you can have a little bit of the infrared, of the UV that can go through the camera, so can reach the camera, but in general it will be very little lighting that you are getting. So definitely, in order to really work with the camera, you need the camera to be modified. You have to remove from the camera these two pieces of glass. I don't know how much you can tell from the camera. So these are the piece of glasses, basically the filters that that stop in your camera the UV and the IR. So these two glasses have to be removed so you can do technical photography properly. With a technical photography kit, with a proper modified camera, you can do reading of faded writings, like in this case. You can do reading of faded prints. We can distinguish different kinds of inks, like iron gall ink and carbon-based ink, in particular, in this case, using the infrared false color imaging, or just using the infrared photo, we can tell immediately different inks because one disappears and the other doesn't.